Why I don't chase women anymore. From age 18 to 23, I spent pretty much all of my time, energy, and resources chasing women. And looking back, I realize now how much of a massive waste of time it was. And it pisses me off to think about how much farther ahead I'd be in life right now if I hadn't done that. Which is why I want to make this video. Um, Hopefully I can help someone not make the same mistake I did. So why don't I chase women anymore? I don't chase women anymore because chasing women has a terrible ROI. ROI, for those who don't know, just means return on investment. So what I'm saying is chasing women gave me terrible results for the amount of time and energy I put into it. And that's not to say I didn't have girlfriends or I didn't date or anything like that. I did. What I'm saying is girlfriends, dating, and chasing women at such a young age for me didn't make me better. In fact, it held me back a lot. And what sucks to think about too is, from what I can see looking back, it didn't benefit any of the women I interacted with either. And the reason being, from my experience, is because you get the best from women and you can be your best for women when you've already established yourself as a man to some meaningful degree. What I mean is, as a man, when you know who you really are, when you know what you want, when you know where you want to go and you know how you want to do it, and you've spent at least 4 to 5 years developing those things and building a foundation for yourself, that's when interacting with women becomes pretty much effortless. Again, I'm just speaking from my own experience here, but I've found that after taking a lot of time to develop myself and figure out who I am and what I want to do with my life, women have just kind of naturally made their way into my life without me even trying. Whereas before, I would have to spend a tremendous amount of time and effort to chase women. And please understand, I'm not saying that to boast. I'm not saying that to puff myself up or anything like that. I'm just saying what I've genuinely experienced because I had no idea that this would happen. Had I known at a younger age that this was going to be the case, that women would just naturally gravitate toward me more after building myself, I would have taken all of that time, energy, and resources I had from age 18 to 23 and just dumped it all into developing myself instead of chasing women. Because I realize now that the problem is at 18, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know where I wanted to go. And I didn't know how I wanted to get there. In other words, I had no masculine foundation or identity that women would have found desirable. And again, that's not to say women won't interact with you at that age. Some will. It's more to say that for the most part, I experienced a lot more resistance, struggle, and pushback from women when I hadn't established myself as a man at that age. And establishing myself as a man took so much more time, energy, effort, and struggle than I realized. I'm 28 years old now, and I feel like I've just now really started to figure things out for myself. And I can't help but wonder sometimes how much farther along I'd be had I just focused on building myself at 18 instead of 23. And how I wish I could go back in time and grab myself by the shoulders and tell myself all of this. And so, again, that's why I'm making this video. If you're a young man, or hell, it honestly doesn't matter what age you are, if you're a man at all and you're spending a majority of your time and energy chasing women, but you haven't established yourself, if you haven't figured out who you are and where you want to go, and you find yourself struggling with women, my humble recommendation would be to stop focusing on chasing women, and that you rather take all of the time, energy, and resources you're spending on them and spend them on building yourself instead for like minimum the next 4 to 5 years. Figure out who you are, what you want, and what you're here to do, and the rest will follow.